You are listening to Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode of Digging In. I'm your host, John Savarino, here with Rooted Wealth Advisors. We have a very special guest, Mr. Alex Allegro, my paisano brother. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing well. You got me in here early. I'm the first one. So we're just going to go rock and roll with it.
I like it. Did you have some coffee this morning?
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Yeah. How excited are you to do this with me?
Not at all.
We were talking about this earlier. Alex is our lead financial planner. So, I don't mean to speak for you, but I think you prefer to work behind the scenes. Doing the analytics and being in front of a camera is not your most favorite thing?
Nope, not at all. But hey, I'm gonna do it. I'll fight through it.
There you go. Well, the goal is we want to get to know you a little bit better. So, maybe just tell us a little bit more about yourself, right? How did you, get to this point? Where'd you go to school? What did you study? Just tell us a little bit more about you.
Sure. So I went to Illinois State, graduated in 2021.
Okay.
With a bachelor's in finance. Started off around COVID year, so it was a little hard to find a job. I was struggling a bit. I finally found one, started as a customer service rep there, worked my way up to kind of assisting in trading, things like that. Was working from home, and my father actually owned the building, so I met Zach that way.
Okay.
I met him when he was walking through here, just kind of looking at it. So met him that way, introduced myself, kind of just went our separate ways for about 6 months. And then finally I texted him, I'm like, man, I got to get out. I'm tired of commuting to Chicago. I need a little different path, little different roadmap for myself.
I like that.
And finally just sat down, talked to him for a little bit, went through a couple interviews, and now we're here.
Wow.
It's been about almost 6 months.
Okay.
So
good for you, man. I actually didn't know that story. So you were commuting to Chicago every day?
Yep. Well, it started at twice a week.
Okay.
And it jumped to 3. I'm like, I know this is gonna turn to 5. I don't know if I want to move up there yet. Find an apartment, it's expensive.
I can imagine.
But yeah, so then I just decided to kind of find not a different path, but a little different job.
Yeah. Because if I'm understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, sounds sexy, right? So that was probably super exciting for you when you first kind of got that position and, working in the city, but then probably quickly, in that role just wasn't a good fit, in all areas.
You just straightforward, I was just another number there.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Like. That's why coming to know Rooted, I felt more part of a team.
Right.
More impactful. That's really what got me here.
Yeah. Well, you fit in right away when you joined in more ways than one. So back to the commute, just because I'm curious, so what time were you leaving, your house? How long would it take you to get there? Traffic? I'm just curious.
I think the shift started around 8:15. So I leave the house around 6:45 at the latest. And that's with traffic. You never know. It could be backed up. It could be straightforward, but most of the time it was taking me at least an hour and a half there and back. So yeah, it just really wasn't it.
That's brutal. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia for a while, and similar experience with traffic, and I just started to despise it. Just the length of time it would take you to get somewhere that's really not that far away. So take me back to young Alex, before high school even. Did you have a dream job, or did you know what you wanted to do at that point in life?
No, I really had no idea because my father's in the food industry. So I was probably thought I had a path there, a career path. Just turns out the dice just weren't rolled my way, you could say. It just wasn't going to add up, me working there. I was more into finance anyways, more into the stock market a lot before college. So I always knew I'd have a career path somewhere in the finance industry.
That's cool. I mean, I'm glad you've kind of found that path here with Rooted. And I will just say for all of our viewers, Alex is a very analytical mind. As we've stated before, he prefers to be behind the scenes in front of the computers, look at all the things. But, speaking of that, you got 6 months under your belt. You've pretty much taken the reins on planning in a very short amount of time, which is impressive. So maybe just give the viewers an idea of, hey, this is what a day in Alex's life at Rooted Wealth Advisors looks like.
Sure. So I get in here about 8:20, get my coffee, get my water, sit down, fire
So you
everything.
start working at 9.
Yeah. So I get that I get the coffee, the water, sit down, open up the calendar, see what my day's gonna look like today. Obviously try and work a week ahead. So I'll make a to-do list for myself, rank things that need to get done ASAP, things I got a little more time on, and go from there. I'll work on your stuff first, of course.
That's what we like to hear.
But yeah, I mean, it's different every day, just depending on the workload.
Yeah, and depending on what time of work you had, I think, one of the things that's, unique, I've been in that position, and I think initially you think it's just going to be churning out the same things every single day, but you quickly start to realize that, yeah, a lot of the cases that come across your desk are going to be similar. There's a lot of unique circumstances that come into play, not only with financial planning, but retirement planning, right? You got all these different pension programs that you're trying to learn, different types of accounts and vehicles. It becomes overwhelming. Oh, yeah. Softwares, things of that nature. So, yeah, man, I mean, I think it's been incredible to watch you, grow in the role, and excited to see, what's to come for you in the future. So, tell me, do you have a favorite memory in the last 6 months since you started working here that's Rooted related?
Yeah, I mean, just we had that little Christmas in July.
That was a good time.
That was probably 2 months in. So it was a good bonding experience for me to really learn more about everyone and how much of a team this actually is.
Yeah, that's a good point. We really, well, like you and I mean, we barely see each other in person, besides our team meetings or phone conversations when I'm like, Alex, I need this. So he, Alex probably, who knows what he's saying about me behind the scenes. But no, that was actually a really good time. And shout out to, Zach for, obviously, we got to spend time at his home. So him and Jenna just taking us in and allowing us to spend some time there and just doing a lot of cool things for us. You haven't done one of our end of the year offsites yet, have you?
No, this one will be my first.
Okay. What has people told? Have you heard anything about them? What's your expectations going into it?
I've heard it's good.
Okay.
I heard it's, people kind of open up, which is good.
Yeah.
They make their complaints, but we also fix things.
Yeah.
So it makes us probably more as one person, one team.
Yeah. Last year, Jason Teal and I, did he tell you we slept on bunk beds together?
No, I hope it's not like that.
You get the bunk bed this time with Jason. I'm getting my own. But no, they're good. I think it's neat to just get to know more of your teammates, especially as we start to have more offices, across the country, really starting to dig in and get to know your fellow teammates. I think super important, especially just at the pace that we work and how hard we all work. I think it's super important, but also just to take a step back, celebrate, what we've done, who we've helped on the year. I think it's just as important. So yeah, super excited for that, to get everyone together. Another kind of on the spot question. Perfect world, right? Which we realize it's not a perfect world. Where do you see yourself with Rooted Wealth Advisors in 5 years?
Well, I see us expanding a good amount just because we're growing so quick. Definitely more planners. I would like to lead a team of planners eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe go down the advisor path. Perfect world. I don't know. It's like you said, it's hard to say. I think advisor role one day
Yeah.
would be interesting.
Okay, good for you. I mean, there's obviously a lot of opportunity within the firm as we continue to grow, with seats kind of here and there. And I think one thing that I've learned about Zach is if you have a passion and a vision, he will do, whatever he can do realistically to help you, follow that path. So that's cool. I'm excited to see where it does go over the next few years. So one of the things that we talked about is you've been running. Right. So tell us about like where'd that stem from? How's it been?
Yeah, I mean,
What's a routine?
always trying to push myself more, and that's never been my strongest suit.
Yeah.
I've always
Okay.
been probably in the gym at least 3 days a week. I try, and that's weightlifting, maybe a little incline walking, but never running.
Okay.
So I figured, might as well start out with doing a mile a day, working my way up. Now I'm to 2.
Oh,
I'm trying to make my way to at least a 5K
okay.
within probably the month.
Should we run a 5K around Thanksgiving?
If you
want to?
I'll do it.
You want to do
Yeah,
it?
I need the challenge.
Would you go to Champaign for one? There's the Illini.
Yeah, I think that's what we.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll do it.
You heard it here first.
All right.
I need someone because I mean, I probably don't run as much as you recently, but I need someone to just do it with me. Hilda did the 10K, and I'm like, look, she did a half marathon, and I thought, this guy's not doing a half marathon just quite yet.
No.
Who wants to do a 5K with me? So we'll get it on the books. Alex, appreciate you, joining me for the podcast early morning. Great to chat with you a little bit. If you would like to learn more about what we do at Rooted Wealth Advisors, maybe know a little bit more about what Alex does behind the scenes, or just have any questions about your situation, your retirement, give us a call, 866-766-8332. We will give you a copy once again of what we do here at Rooted Wealth Advisors with a little bit more information. And once again, the number is 866-766-8332. We'll see you soon.
This was Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Look at that. That was pretty good.